myself out. I get all
But that's going to be like in an hour's time or something, right? 15 minutes.
Okay, and then?
And then we focus.
Permanent?
Then we leave. Once a week. Until we get the standby. Then we come back and do the anthem.
Okay. And that's all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anthem, exit music, done.
Yeah.
And we come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. By virtue of the power vested in me as Rector and Vice-Chancellor, I hereby constitute this congregation of the University of the Free State for awarding of certificates and diplomas in open and distance learning. I therefore award certificates and diplomas to all the candidates presented to this congregation. In addition, I hereby award certificates and diplomas to those whose names appears in the program, but who are not present here today. You may be seated. Again, I would like to say a hearty welcome and a good afternoon to this graduation ceremony. Before I want to give a welcome message to those that will get and will receive their certificates and diplomas this afternoon, I would like to welcome a few specific individuals on our platform this afternoon. I would like to welcome Mr. Derek Foster, who represents the Chair of Council. Welcome to you, sir. Then a specific word of welcome to our guest speaker, Advocate Francois Strubel. Welcome to you too, sir. And then we have Vice Rectors and Registrars, or Registrar here this afternoon. The Vice Rector for Institutional Change, Student Affairs and Community Engagement, Professor Puleng Kabula. We have got our Registrar, Mr. Nakilen Sababa, and I could say that this is going to be his first graduation ceremony at our Bloemfontein campus. We had earlier in May, we had a graduation ceremony at the Kwakwa campus, where he already was introduced. So also welcome to you, Mr. Nakilen Sababa. Then we have our campus principal at Kwakwa, Dr. Martin Mandiu. We have got a representative from the South Campus here this afternoon, representative from the Convocation. We also have the Dean of Economic and Management Sciences, Professor Henry Krokamp. Then we have representatives from the other faculties of education, of health sciences, of humanities, of law, and also of natural and agricultural sciences on the platform this afternoon. We also have, and also of theology and religion. And then we also have the SRC President, the Student Representative Council President, Mr. Sonwabile Ndwaba. So those are the individuals that I would like to welcome specifically this afternoon on the platform. Now, graduation ceremonies for me are joyous events. It's events where we celebrate the achievements of our loved ones. And therefore, I think we could have some jubilation, we could have applause. And I often remark at these ceremonies that graduation ceremonies is not supposed to be church services. It's jubilous events, and I would like to see that atmosphere this afternoon. But I also would like to say, first of all, congratulations to our graduates for coming so far, for be able to reach this specific point where you would receive your certificate and also your diploma this afternoon. And there are many in the audience today that have really made a lot of sacrifice, a whole deal of hard work that has gone into getting to this moment this afternoon. And their sacrifices doesn't always have to be financial. It could also be emotional. And there are many of you sitting here this afternoon that probably will receive a qualification as a first qualification in your family this afternoon. And I think for that, one also have to say, well done. But I want to probably just leave you with three messages. In fact, it's three values that I would like you to keep in the back of your mind, and also like you to live out as you go into your journey. Some of you already are in a professional occupation, but some of you might still want to pursue something different. And I think at the University of the Free State, we wouldn't like only to confer a qualification, whether that's a certificate or whether that's a diploma or whether that's a degree. We believe that with that qualification comes a set of values that will set the University of the Free State graduate apart from other graduates that graduate from other universities. And I believe that the three values that is important for me and also important for the university that we would like to bring and hopefully have brought across during the time that you study here at the University of the Free State is the value of critical inquiry. It's just to have a sense that it's not only what I've been taught, but also to challenge sometimes what I've been taught. It's not always to believe what I've been said, but to challenge that. But because through that challenge, you unpack, you reflect, and you also sometimes do get a better understanding. And never forget that specific value, because I would like you to practice that in your specific occupation. But the second value is the value of social responsiveness and service. And most of you are actually doing that already. But it is for me important to also realize that it's not only about myself. It's also about giving back. It's also about support others. Because it's only through the collective that I believe that we would make a huge difference. Not only to the community where you operate, but to the country, to the continent, and to the globe. And if we have an approach of only centering the individual, centering yourself, then that would become a challenge. So that social responsiveness and the service to others is the second value that I would like you to remember. And the third one, which is probably more important in a country like South Africa, but also applicable to other societies across the globe, and that's the value of integrity. That is what we need to be able to be firm in what we do, what we represent, who we represent, and the way in which we represent it. And I hope that the University of the Free State have given you that opportunity to develop those values and to make those values the center of your qualification and what you'll be receiving this afternoon. So again, hearty congratulations. Towards the end, I will give you a congratulatory message. But for now, congratulations and again, hearty welcome. And I hope that everyone will enjoy this session with us this afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my word. The rector didn't say you must be quiet. This is a celebration. So let's try again. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dumelang. Hey, that's right. Thank you very much. This is how it should go. But ladies and gentlemen, if we think about the magnitude of this ceremony, you probably will agree with me that there should be some house rules. Don't you think? So I'm only going to highlight 4 of them. And then we'll listen to that. Let me start off. The first one is, the university uses official photographers, and they're here in this venue. But if you move outside, you'll see other people as well, freelance photographers. So they can take your picture, that's fine, but we cannot guarantee the quality of those pictures. So remember, that's number 1. Number 2, as the rector said and the vice chancellor, this is a day of celebration. But each and every person would like to hear his or her name being read. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you congratulate your specific spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, keep it short so that the next person's name can also be heard. Okay? Right, it seems to me we're in agreement. This graduation is also a very dignified ceremony. And therefore, I urge you not to walk around whilst the ceremony is on the go. And the last thing, ladies and gentlemen, this. Do you recognize this thing? Please take it out, because I know all of you have got one in your pockets, and put it on silent. Because otherwise you're going to disturb the people next door if this thing goes off. I'm going to do that. Now, if you've missed everything that I've said now, ladies and gentlemen, please refer to page 2 at the bottom of your graduation program, and you'll see everything. So can we adhere and can we agree on these 4 house rules? Yes, thank you. So this afternoon also, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce to you our guest speaker, Advocate Francois H. Strubel. Now, he's actually a guy from Bloemfontein. And his high school years, he went to the Jim Fouché High School in Bloemfontein here. And then he continued with his studies at the University of the Free State. And he did a B.Civ Juris. And thereafter, he did his LLB with the University of South Africa. He was admitted as an advocate of the Supreme Court of South Africa, the Cape Province section, and is an international qualified mentor and mediator. He gained a wealth of international experience. I talked to him a bit earlier. He said he was in Switzerland, he was there, I was here, and you can imagine all the experience that he gained during and he was also for 4 decades the personal advisor of Dr. Anton Rupert. You probably heard that name. He was a South African businessman, philanthropist, as well as a conservationist. Currently, Advocate Strubel is a non-executive chairman of the Give and Gain Foundation, Payprop Holdings, and 2 other international boards. Now, I can keep you busy with this man's CV for the whole day. Once again, if you look at the program at the bottom of page 10, it's more comprehensive CV. But you don't want to listen to me, you want to listen to Advocate Strubel. So, Advocate, please, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Professor Peterson, Professor Krokamp, honorable guests, I am so honored to be here today with you. Professor Peterson, there is no doubt in my mind that there are a number of professors in the law faculty in the late 60s who are turning in their graves today if they see who is addressing this audience. You know, a few years ago, the then chairman of Capitec, he's a good friend of mine, he was asked to address the final year's LLB students at Stellenbosch University. They've had a smart black tie dinner that evening. The theme of the occasion was choices. The dean introduced him and he started by showing them the speech he prepared. And then he took another printed paper from his other pocket. And he said that on this paper are 3 jokes, the best he has ever heard. And he asked the students what they would prefer, that prepared speech or these 3 jokes. Now, you know, students, nearly all of them shouted and cheered for the joke paper. So we told them the jokes and they all laughed and enjoyed it. And when his last joke was read, he said, "Thank you." He walked to his chair and he sat down. This, of course, drew more laughs and cheering. After a while, the dean smiled and said to him, "Okay, you can continue with your speech." And he absolutely declined. He said their theme is choices. He said one must learn that when a choice is made, there will be certain consequences. and that there will be someone to take responsibility for the choice you make. I do not think that any one of those students forgot that lesson yet. Now, I was, of course, tempted to try this today. Having been known as the cheerleader at this university who loved his jokes. But then I remember that a Koffsie is much more responsible than those Stellenbosch University students, and they will never ever choose a joke above a speech. But I decided to at least try and accommodate in my speech the same promise Henry VIII made to his fifth wife on their wedding night when he said, "I won't keep you long." Thank you for this great honor to celebrate with a specific group's achievement in receiving their advanced certificates and national professional diplomas. I'm thrilled to share this occasion because this group is the most important group of persons in this impressive hall today. Not for the degrees or diplomas you so rightly deserved. No, they are more important in our country today than Professor Peterson, the other professors, and all the lecturers of this specific special university. And I say this with all the sincerity I can muster. Recipients of these advanced certificates and national professional diplomas, you have made your choice, and you are now responsible to go back to your respective schools and colleges and teach a young generation waiting for your guidance and mentorship that will lift their skills and hopes to a level that will allow them to attend a higher education institution like Koffsie's in the very near future. President Ramaphosa said this last week of your discipline, if we are to ensure that within the next decade every 10-year-old will be able to read for meaning, we will need to mobilize the entire nation behind a massive reading campaign. Now, this is the clearest statement on education priorities perhaps ever made in this country, recognizing that 78% of children are left behind by grade 3 because of poor reading comprehension. This is one of the biggest barriers to transformation and progress. If you are not going to be successful with your task, Professor Peterson, his professors and lecturers of this university cannot implement their role when taking over from you to provide this country with the men and women to fulfill the dreams of President Ramaphosa and all those South Africans to build and manage inter alia, bullet trains, and smart cities. I believe absolutely in that vision of the President announced last week. My mentor, Dr. Anton Rupert, taught me, he who does not believe in miracles is not a realist. Some laughed at him when he started the Peace Parks Foundation to establish international cross-border parks in the 90s. Today, the world has 179 registered cross-border parks linking 213 countries around the world. What a time to be alive. Despite the front pages of newspapers giving us some real bad news every day. When one celebrates, you do not need to be reminded again and again of bad news. There's a time for everything. and the time for celebration is today. We must cheer and sing. You know, I still remember the song our great house mama taught me on the farm when I was 6 years old, when a celebration was on hand. Do you want to hear that song? Yes. Lerato la yeso lia makatsa, makatsa, makatsa. Lerato la yeso lia makatsa luri. For those of you who forgot to attend your Sotho classes, it says briefly, the love of God is wonderful. The discipline you are representing asks for life lessons that can be conveyed to that new generation of young scholars that will be looking at you as teachers in a very different way than the way an employee looks at an employer. I had 4 heroes in my life. I mentioned already the first one, Dr. Anton Rupert. The next two have been school teachers. I've learned from them that success is the wolf in sheep's clothing. It boosts egos and drives a wedge between appearance and reality. When we succeed, we believe everything went according to plan. When we think we're destined for greatness, we start blaming others if things don't go as planned. As Bill Gates says, success is a lousy teacher because it seduces smart people in thinking they can't lose. The moment we think we've made it, it is that moment we stop learning and growing. Advise your scholars that when they are tempted to start basking in the glory of their success while admiring the scoreboard, they must stop and pause for a moment. They must ask, what went wrong with this success? What role did luck, opportunity, and privilege played? My generation tend to forget too often the link between luck and privilege. Dr. Rupert was once asked whether it was one of his goals to become successful. And he answered, I would rather be called a man of value than to be called a successful man. Because a successful man takes more than what he gives. And a man of value gives more than what he takes. Good teachers are men and women of value. They give much more than what they take. I thank you now in advance for the role you are going to play in the lives of our children in the next 10 years. I was asked to head a strategic and marketing committee to get Table Mountain to be elected as one of the world's 7 wonders of nature in 2011. 5 years before that, the world voted for the new 7 man-made wonders of the world. I learned from the Swiss organization of the new 7 wonders that the tourism numbers to those 7 man-made wonders increased within 4 years after their election by between 300 and 400%. It is an established fact that for every 8 tourists visiting a developing country, they create 1 job. That was enough of a reason for me to take up that challenge with Table Mountain. I did not study or research what those 7 man-made wonders did to be elected. I researched those who failed and came in at number 8 to 14. One learns more from failures than from successes. And as Dr. Rupert taught me, when you must make a plan, always think first of the opposite of the obvious. Always think first of the opposite of the obvious. The Eiffel Tower was number 8 in this category of man-made wonders. The French were so arrogant that they did not even build a local support team, nor did they make any effort to convince the local French community to vote for their own. They just believed that everyone will anyhow vote for the Eiffel Tower. Well, a large number did. There's more Japanese and Koreans who voted for the Eiffel Tower than the French themselves. But that was not enough. And they came 8th. They were furious. But it was too late. That fact of failure inspired me and our team. We had a great advantage to use unity within our local support organization. We were the only country at that stage to call on 3 living Nobel Peace Prize winners to be the ambassadors of that organization, namely Mr. Nelson Mandela, Bishop Tutu, and Mr. de Klerk. I approached them, and they immediately said yes. The support through them in this country was enormous. I can entertain you on the voting story for a long time. Suffice to say, we made it in a voting pool exceeding 1 billion international internet and cell phone voters. Table Mountain is today one of the 7 wonders of nature, the only one in the middle of a city. Since the announcement in November 2011, the cable car has recorded every month a new record for tourists visiting the mountain, the majority being international visitors. In 2010, we gave the SA National Parks 8 million rand from the income. Last year, we gave them 44 million rand. I can assure you that we are not so arrogant to say that out of the thousands of God-made nature wonders, we are indeed better or prettier than other God-made wonders. Fact is that one can only be chosen as Miss World if you are entering that competition. Not all the nature areas entered. We did, and we won one of those 7 spots available. I am not a fan of those advising that one should think out of the box. I believe we should look in your own box. You know your box the best. I want to close. I recently read that the professor at Stanford University's class on entrepreneurship divided his class group into different teams and gave each team $5 in funding. Their assignment was to make as much money as possible within 2 hours, and then to give a 3-minute presentation on the outcome. Typical ventures ranged from using the money to buy materials for a makeshift car wash, or a lemonade stand, or just to go and buy the lottery ticket, or to put it on red on the roulette table. The teams that made the most money did not use the $5 at all. They realized that the $5 is just a distracting element and essentially a worthless resource. So they ignored it. Instead, they reframed the problem more broadly as, what can we do to make money if we start with absolutely nothing? One particular successful team ended up making reservations at popular local restaurants and then selling the reservation times to those who wanted to skip the wait and the queue. But the team that made the most money not only questioned why they should use the $5 at all, but they also ignored the 2-hour period. Instead, they focused on their 3-minute presentation to all the entrepreneurs at Stanford University. You know what they did? They sold their 3-minute slot to a recruitment company interested in recruiting Stanford University students, and they walked away with $650 each. Dear recipients of these advanced certificates and national professional diplomas, ask your scholars, what is the $5 tactic in their life? How can they ignore it and find the 2-hour window? Or even better, how can you assist them to find the most valuable 3 minutes of their life? The fourth mentor in my life was my mother. When I left the house for university, she gave me this verse from the Bible. And it's the same wish that I offer to you when you leave this hall today. May there be peace within your walls, prosperity within your home. For the sake of the brothers and sisters, I say, peace be within you. Because of the house of the Lord our God, I pray that you will be blessed. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for this thought-provoking address by Advocate Strubel. You will also agree, ladies and gentlemen, and the advocate started this thing, that with any celebration you need to have music. Don't you think so? Yes. And this afternoon we're very privileged to listen to Amazulu, the debut single by South African award-winning songstress Amanda Black, written together with Crystal Kubedi. Although she's best known, you'll probably remember that thing of South Africa's Idols, the 11th season. And she was best known for that. It was the single about her tumultuous relationship with music that catapulted this whole career of hers, with a release in 2016 and its subsequent critical acclaim for this particular song. To perform Amazulu this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the UFS Arts Communities under the direction of Angelo Mocchi, accompanied by the Graduation Instrumental Ensemble. That's it, let them start.
I'm drifting away into the darkness. Ngizothatha umthwalo ndibeke emqolo mama, ubume bunzima. So I lift my head up high, I open my eyes, and now I fly. Oh, I'm feeling open, I'm feeling close in, looking up, hoping the heavens will open. Mdali wezulu, nikane when I'm falling. Tell me I'm nothing, don't care what they say. I'm begging you, darling, stop losing your love. No more drifting, no more drifting away. Ivumile tamako, avulekile amazulu, I'm fighting for survival. Dilikawe, dilikawe, dingonyama.
Well done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And to the ladies, I think that deserves another round of applause. I now call upon the Deputy Director, the South Campus, Mr. Fred Mudanvanwu, to present his candidates.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I have the privilege of requesting you to award certificates and diplomas to the candidates that I introduced to you. Advanced Certificate in FET Phase Life Science Teaching. Litsane E.G. Mahlangu JSM. Ntimane R. Advanced Certificate in FET Phase Mathematics Teaching. Mahi T.S. Shabangu T.A. and the certificate with distinction. Advanced Certificate in FET Phase Physical Science Teaching. Makupo FF. Nsibande KP and the certificate with distinction. Advanced Certificate in Foundation Phase Teaching. Brits M and certificate with distinction. Chaka MY. Dladla DN and certificate with distinction. Dlamini SP. Khatebe DT. Jordan DY. Khanyaho BM, certificate with distinction. Hetzi MA. Kumalo MI. Kumalo NF. Lala ME. Lidwaba DM. Likalakala MJ. Lengwati LK. Litacheng MD, certificate with distinction. Maga NJ. Maslachar TD, certificate with distinction. Mahlo HD, certificate with distinction. Maila MS, certificate with distinction. Makamu RK. Makate MG, certificate with distinction. Maliboho SL. Manana ME. Mango GS, certificate with distinction. Masheho EP. Masheho NM. Matenjwa P. Mello JM. Mnembe MA, certificate with distinction. Munisi ML. Mukwena MB. Mulokwane RL, Certificate with Distinction. Monareng SP. Mopo MM. Mshwane MG, Certificate with Distinction. Mtetwa KC. Ndlovu SS. Ndlwanane PP. Ngobo NG, Certificate with Distinction. Ngobo ZW. Nkamane AK. Nkosi CN. Nkosi KS. Nkosi PN. Ntuli GG. Palo MM. Puka NO. Plucky NM. Ramarumo KPA. Sikhobela LL. Shabangu AP. Shabangu MG. Shabangu PO. Shabangu SS. Shai LM with distinction. Shakung G. Sibanda GS. CBIS certificate with distinction. Sidu BE. Simelani AT. Simelani TJ. Tamahe KP. Tibela GP. Ubisi FK. Weber MJ, certificate with distinction. Advanced certificate in intermediate phase teaching with English first additional language and life skills. Baduza L, certificate with distinction. Gumab M, Manata PA. Manyike JD, certificate with distinction. Matinya MJ. Matsaya VP. Mavimbela MP. Modiha L. Mufukeng MS, certificate with distinction. Mufukeng NG, certificate with distinction. Mutaung MMM. Mutlotle MM. Melasi NM. Ngobeni HT. Ngune MJ. Rampa KMD. Sininda TN. Stole non-plant. N, sorry. Advanced certificate in intermediate phase teaching with English first additional language and mathematics. Alexander JM, certificate with distinction. Libona MA, certificate with distinction. Lisenyeho LA, Mahlakwane NA. Malipepa, ML. Masheho, PJ. Matonsi, DT. Mufukeng, MM. Mukwena, DC. Moloi, NJ, certificate with distinction. Ndlela, AS. No, MP. Ngobo, CH. Ngwenya, SDM, certificate with distinction. Posa, MM. Sibulai, SF. Siliso, M. Sikutla, BB. Tau, MM. Chabalala, MJ. Familian, M, certificate with distinction. Advanced certificate in intermediate phase teaching with English first additional language and social sciences. Hlatshwayo, GM. Lerumo, TE. Makufani, MM. Masheho, JM. Mazibuko, NP. Bata, ZP. Ngwane, MM. Sukwana, ML. Danki, M. Advanced certificate in intermediate phase teaching with English first additional language, natural and agricultural, natural sciences and technology. Glutlu, NS. Hule, SP, certificate with distinction. Magwaza, MM. Makubo, PE, Certificate with Distinction. Makwatana, NE, Certificate with Distinction. Maputa L, Certificate with Distinction. Mukhani A. Daba FN. Gumane WN. Raswai DP. Sifadi MA. Kaba BN. Advanced Certificate in Senior Phase Economic and Management Sciences, Teaching. Dube TC. Constable KE, Certificate with Distinction. Mabena ZS. Mkhadipa NE. Mufukeng NE. Charlie NT and Certificate with Distinction. Nzama MY. Sislo MP, Certificate with Distinction. Zulu SH. Advanced Certificate in Senior Phase English First Additional Language Teaching. Lachman V, Certificate with Distinction. Gala JE. Pakati EM. Advanced Certificate in Senior Phase Life Orientation Teaching. Mahuboshani, TC, Certificate with Distinction. Masekwa RW. Masola MB. Masilo JP. Mukwena EL. Mulwantwa ER. Motsumi ME. Gobesi PB. C0 SC, Certificate with Distinction. Zungu RM. Advanced Certificate in Senior Phase Mathematics Teaching. Dlamini MC, Certificate with Distinction. George A. Jebetwana ME, Certificate with Distinction. Kashe IL. Masango MM. Munisi MV. Mpande GL. Msimango FZ. Mutau SL. Ngobesi M. Khatebe JM. Silwan LC, Certificate with Distinction. Vilakas HN, Certificate with Distinction. Advanced Certificate in Senior Phase Natural Science Teaching. Chane JT, Certificate with Distinction. Makubu J. Muvali SD. Advanced Certificate in Senior Phase Social Sciences Teaching. Mahloele MA. Ndlala TP. Nkosi RP. Rampele MM. Tete BT. Twala ST. Zwane LB, certificate with distinction. National Professional Diploma in Education, Grade R and Foundation Phase. Benasidumo A. Bongo N. Bonga NG. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Butelezi SN. Shwene AN. Dlamini NJ. Dlamini SM. Duma BF. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's just proceed. Duma K. Hlanjwa P. Hloshana N. Sorry. Jason J. Kanyile F. Liu F. Ludwesa N. Madondo PD. Malaka MK. Mamaje LJ. Manini C. Mankana BF. Manzi Z. Masweu NE. Masuka Z. Masuku MB. Matebula R. Mazamelela MF. Mazibuko T. Mbangula PR. Mbata JC. Nkunu SN. Mlaba yeah, it's your husband. Oh, it's your husband, okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Mlaba BD. Ngube EM. You can proceed, sorry. Nguni TC. Nyaka NB. Mujanaha LD. Mkwena MB. Mulote NC. Murerwa MA. Morukane MM. Mtabela TN. Mvelase SP. Ndaba NG. Ndaba AP. Ndebele TP. Ndlovu GE. Ngubane T. Ngwenya C. Nhlapo SI. Nkitle LM. Nkuna NJ. Nondabula NV. Ntabele MP. Ntesu TG. Nyati MN. Nzimande MG. Pasha MH. Just wait. Petla ML. Pizza GM. Ratebe EM. Rampai SG. Simechana DL. Shezi ZC. Shumuleile MM. Sigubudu NP. Dima ML. Klaka MJ. Klache KG. Twai ME. Shazi NP. Shazi B. Okay, thank you. Wait, sorry. Just come back. Okay, thank you.
Sweu MC. Vilakazi LP. Can continue. Vilakazi ST. Vilakazi SN. Zikalala NI. Zulu BD. National Professional Diploma in Education, intermediate phase. Damane T. Dlamini PP. Gaia T. Hadebe C. Hlongwane SE. Hlotwane MC. Kutlane MM. Lamula VP. Mabunda JJ. Maduna SN. Okay, thank you. Let us continue. Matlaba DN.
Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. I think I've started off by stipulating some house rules, and we all agreed that one of them will be to look at the dignity of this ceremony. So can we please respect that? Thank you very much. Fred, thank you.
Majavu A. You can continue. Makebesela 80. Makomboti ZS, ZPS. Makoso EMM. Malevu VJ and diploma with distinction. Mapitse MM. Mdia TO. Mia LE. Ngube MF. Mufukeng MM. Muhoto R. Mtetwa GE. Mtetwa MF. Mzinyane LT. Ngekana N. Ngonyama LC. Ngonyolo SH. Ngubane TM. Ngokile LK. Nkambule PK. Nkato FMD. Nkuloko MAMM. Nkuna GJ. Nsunse NP. Nyanginsimbi N. Pule NV. Kwabe LG. Ramotele JK. Wait. Shangase PN. Sithole XM. Tembe AM. Tutat Kokile LB. Zoko NB. Zondi NG. Zulu NP. National Professional Diploma in Education Senior Phase Languages. Nare NE. Domo NC. Nene NN. Nkabini CP. National Diploma in Education Senior Phase Mathematics and Natural Sciences or Technology with specialization in Natural Science. Mahata MB. Mukhoto ML. Mutlola MN. Jokweni SA. And lastly, Patela MMG, Diploma with Distinction.
I think we can give our graduates another hand of applause. Well done. I believe that our recipients of our certificates and diplomas this afternoon would be the first people that would say that they would never be able to reach this specific achievement or this specific moment if it wasn't for support. Support of their loved ones, support of family, support from friends, support from staff, support from community members. And I would like us to, I'll ask the recipients of our diplomas and degrees this afternoon to stand up, try to make eye contact with your loved ones in the audience, and shout your appreciation for what they have done and they have meant to you. So could you rise and just shout the appreciation? All right, you can be seated. Thank you. Thank you. I see that we've got a lively bunch this afternoon. I also would like to say that from a university perspective, there are staff of the university, academic staff and support staff, that really are playing such a fundamental and critical role to ensure that this university is running smoothly, that this university are able to give the quality of education that we used to, that this university have ceremonies such as this that could be run smoothly, that we got security staff outside and on our campuses to look after the safety of our staff and students and visitors to the university. That we have staff in our examination departments and our registration departments, staff that look after our students in the residences. And they are the staff that are sometimes invisible. But I would like to take, and everybody in this hall, to put our hands together to the staff of the University of the Free State. Now that you have received a qualification from the University of the Free State, you become an alumnus of the university. And the role of the alumnus is crucial. We have had our guest speaker this afternoon that also is an alumnus from the university. And we want our alumni to come back and to share their experiences, to give advice, to make sure that this university remain the type of the university in terms of quality and progression when you were here, when you study. So there you also have to play a crucial role to ensure that the quality that we at this university offer over the next decades or 2 or 3 are the quality that you would like to see from this university. You should also raise your voices if you feel this university is acting in a way that is not aligned with the values of what society and what the world should be about. You should raise your voice. You should let us know. And therefore, it's important for us to keep in contact with you. We would like to maintain that specific contact because once you have studied at the University of the Free State, that is a lifelong relationship that exists between yourself and the university. And obviously, we also would like 20 years from now produce teachers and professionals that can go out and are able to make a change to this world. So therefore, I would like you to maintain that relationship with the university. I know that you have heard lots of speeches today. This is your day. This is a day that you should go out and celebrate. And once again, from our side, as the university, I would like to say hearty congratulations. I also would like, before I conclude the session, would like again extend my thanks to our guest speaker, Advocate Strubel, for a wonderful message, an inspirational message, a message that we can all relate to, but also a message that brings with that responsibility. Thank you very much, Advocate Strubel. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the proceedings for this afternoon. The university takes pleasure in inviting all graduates and their guests to the H. van der Merwe's Calls Hall to the west of this venue, where tea, coffee, and juice will be served. Dr. Matilde Tom Wiem, accompanied by the Graduation Instrumental Ensemble under the direction of Anton Estreiser, will shortly lead us in the singing of the National Anthem. After that, you are requested to remain standing while the congregation is dissolved and the main and academic processions leaves the hall. Please rise. By virtue of the power vested in me as Rector and Vice-Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of the Free State.
Thank you.